Here with my Flashpoint buddies. We have Mike Turpin, of course, and my buddy Todd Lamb. Guys, pretty much like we thought it would go, that we've talked about on Flashpoint. Any big surprises tonight?
Well, Kevin, I'm surprised at the closeness of the Attorney General race. I really thought it'd be Gittner by a minimum of 5-point margin, cruising to an upset of John O'Connor. It's surprising that the sitting Attorney General, although not running for, quote, re-election, that he couldn't win it outright. So no matter how you look at it, I think the AG race is a surprise.
I agree with that. And I just got to say that America's 246 years old come this 4th of July. You believe that? Still a pretty young country.
Days away.
Days away. Young country. And what we learn is every 4 years, 2 years, we have a peaceful revolution at the polls. Some countries knock heads, but in America we count heads. You've heard me say it before, but hang with me here. What I'm surprised at is the COIM. Every election comes down to COIM. The candidate, the organization, the issues, the money. Todd, there's been
not necessarily in that order.
Not necessarily. You're right, brother.
Yeah, right.
You're right.
But what are we going to say? What?
Todd.
Yeah.
Kevin. Over $10 million spent just in the primaries. We're not even talking November 8th. We're not talking August 23rd. The runoffs, $10 million plus in all these races. That's a lot of money, more than ever.
It's no secret races getting more expensive. Just personal experience 4 years ago when I ran for governor, in that primary alone, there was about $15 million spent just in that one primary.
And GOTV used to mean get out the vote. You know that. Door to door, store to store. Now it means get on television. I guess that's okay with Wes Milburn and Natalie Hughes.
And Kevin Ogle.
They like to spend money here. When do we see the first negative ad in the runoff race between Markwayne Mullin and T.W. Shannon?
If you stay up all night, maybe by the morning. I know it's going to be early, but really quickly on that, there was there were kind of two races in the open U.S. Senate race to succeed Jim Inhofe. Markwayne Mullin, he was out early, and he was just kind of a candidate, and then it was a dogfight for who else was going to be in the runoff. And I think it speaks volumes about T.W. Shannon that he beat 12 other candidates to making that runoff with Markwayne. So that's going to be obviously the race to watch. There'll be some other runoffs, but it'll be not just the negative ads, but the issues. And Kevin, how do you separate yourself? Two Republicans, two conservatives.
In a red state.
In a red state. So it'll be the race to watch.
Mike, there's speculation, this race for governor between Joy Hoffmeister, the Democrat, and Kevin Stitt, our incumbent Republican.
I'm listening.
And there's no doubt that they're not fond of each other.
They're not.
Could be the most expensive governor's race in history.
Hear me now, believe me later. It will be. Why? Because unnecessarily, I think, Kevin Stitt is like a bull that carries his own china closet with him. I mean, he goes out and offends people when he doesn't even need to. He has Education Nation against him largely. Joy Hoffmeister can take advantage of that. He has Healthcare Nation against him in a large way. And he has the Tribal Nation against him. These are all unforced errors. It didn't need to be that way, but he's offended all of them systematically when he didn't even need to. Those are going to be big resources against him.
The problem Joy's going to have is that Kevin Stitt will not just raise the money. You can do that as an incumbent governor, regardless of your party. He will spend personal money.
Yeah, he has a lot.
And he's got
against you.
Well, he's done against a lot of people now. But he's got deep pockets, and whatever Joy raises as the incumbent governor, Kevin will raise, and he'll spend more.
All right.
But there's something called independent expenditures. So we're not talking about the campaigns anymore. We're talking about outside independent expenditures that'll come into that race in a huge way.
It's called dark money, and we will address this more on Flashpoint.
COIM.
Sunday. Back to you, Jolie.